Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and I had to do this story for We Are Change because I think it's so important and it reflects a lot of what's about to go down and how people automatically trust men of respect. Meanwhile, they deny evidence that some of these people that are so respected in their communities are the pillars of those communities, have dream jobs, are thought to be men of morality, are nothing of the sort. And another one of these horror stories is out there, and it just shows you that there are a network of these people that should not be trusted at face value. And I implore everybody out there to not only, judge a person by their visible fruits, but what's going on behind the scenes. Have you done your homework? Or are you just buying into, national, international propaganda, or even local propaganda, or some kind of affront? And before I get into this story, I want to remind everybody, we just found out, in fact, we just put a video up on the main channel, that Bilderberg is going to be in Switzerland. We have, let's refresh it. Let's see if we've got any donations yet today. Yep, I believe just a little bit more. Awesome. We're almost to that $3,000 goal, guys. And let me tell you, there's going to be a lot of men of respect here. So this is something I don't expect you to see in the U.S. headlines, but I saw it, going through the news today, and we're going to go to this headline, and then we're going to read it. Respected American businessman, 65, is exiled to Russian penal colony after making and selling CP of 50 underage victims is pictured rubbing shoulders with U.S. diplomats. Oh, was he? So this guy's rubbing shoulders with people that are supposed to be representing our country, that are involved in our geopolitical system. Isn't that convenient? Huh. So, let's read some of the bullet points here. Okay, David Lang, 65, respected business consultant and English teacher from New York. Let's be honest, the coastlines, California, New York, notorious for child trafficking, notorious for an upper echelon of clientele. He was sentenced to only 7.5 years in that penal colony in Russia. And that shows you globally, let's talk about that for a moment. Globally, these sentences are so low. And why is that? Because globally, these type of predators exist, and they're in the upper echelons, and it is a network. Think about that. 50 plus victims, 7.5 years? My God. And when you see, we're going to show just a little piece of the video together, what they seized from his home, but we're talking about a binder full of these things. And he was shipping this stuff into the United States. This is a reality. These networks exist. 7.5 years? First of all, there should be no question that it is for the rest of his life. And then, obviously, that network should be punished to the fullest extent of the law. Now, you could say that maybe Russia would want to leverage some of this information, especially since it's probably not just the United States. It's probably, European people of influence as well. And they will use this to blackmail people. This has been open in documentation from this country as far back as the 60s with 50s and 60s, really, with MK Ultra, which I've covered in the past. But let's go back to this article. Let's continue with some of these bullet points here. A court saw graphic films and photos of him abusing his victims, as Lang also subjected one underage teenage girl to I don't want to say it. I'm not going to say it. His reign of his sinister illegal film studio for 9 years. 9 years in a town at the foot of Urals, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, before he was taken into custody. Now, before we get to him being taken into custody and maybe some of these other bullet points, rubbing elbows. There he is. He's an elbow rubber. But let's play some of this. I don't want to get taken down. I'm going to turn the volume off once it kicks in. But as you can see, they raided through the window. And let's jump here Oh, let's go back a little bit. Here's his computer stash, his editing studio, his light setup. Think about this freak show. Are you kidding me? This is a reality. This is happening. And we act like it doesn't. All right? And I think, yeah, there's the CD booklets. Let's just pause it over there. There's bags of stuff out. That's the one problem with these. We'll go back to CD booklets of this stuff. Bags of this stuff. It makes me want to vomit. Remember, this is a respected member of the community. Somebody rubbing elbows with the upper echelon of society. So let's read some of this. Because I'll tell you what, everybody wants to pick on the Daily Mail. Oh, it's a rag. It's all tabloid. Well, let me tell you something. I'm not seeing this on MSNBC. I don't see a large article over on Fox News either. You know, some of the news wires are out there, but this is coming out of Russia, and it doesn't seem to be a big deal that, again, he sent CP films on CD discs to the U.S. by express courier, and the money he earned went into his American bank account. An elderly businessman has been sentenced to spend 7.5 years in exile in Russia for filming and selling CP involving dozens of underage children, the Daily Mail has learned. David Lang, 65, a respected business consultant and English teacher from New York, ran his sinister illegal studio for 9 years in Chelyabinsk, a town at the foot of Urals, before he was taken into custody. The court saw graphic films, pictures showing him sexually abusing his victims, as Lang subjected one underage teenage girl to repeated abuse. Police identified more than 50 children. 50 children, people, including many under 14 years old, who were victims of his abuse. He was sentenced to only serve, I still serve time at a penal colony. Again, this is insane. 7.5 years? Why is he ever going to get out? He was found guilty of intercourse and other acts of sexual nature with a person who has not reached the age of 16, but no penalty was imposed due to the statute of limitations relating to the crime. Why are there statute of limitations on these crimes anywhere in the world? Can somebody explain that to me? First of all, most children cannot really report abuse, and when they do, they're often called liars. They're often not treated as victims, but instead, they're treated as suspects for even sharing these stories. So the idea there's a statute of limitations is mind-blowing to me. But again, it's set up for a system of worldwide elites that are into this stuff. Think about this. This guy has this network. He's sending this stuff out. He was doing it for 7.5 years that we know about. He had to have crazy connections. Let's go back to the article. Lang worked with a Russian accomplice named Elektrina Yasina, a single mother who acted as his interpreter, who found the girls who Lang used in his films. She also did their hair and makeup for photo shoots. God, I want to vomit. Yasina, who hid her face in a hood and jacket, was given a 3-year suspended sentence because she is the mother of an underage child. Think about that. First of all, she's the mother of an underage child. That child needs to be taken away. And a 3-year suspended sentence, insanity. Insanity. This person is ever going to be on the streets again, let alone now. Lang was convicted in a closed-door trial, then appealed the verdict, but his plea was rejected. He sent CP films on discs to the United States by express courier, and the money he earned went into American bank accounts, according to officials. The Americans started streaming. He was streaming this stuff on the net in 2014. Pretty awesome, huh? Not only sending hard copies, but also streaming the stuff. Who are the buyers? They talk about the detention here. It's just, there he is. This is what's going on. So, again, folks, I want everybody to understand this is a reality. This is something that we need to expose. Talk about light needing to be shed on the darkness. This is as dark as it gets. And the idea that he's not at least going to serve the rest of his life in prison is mind-blowing to me. He's 65 years old. He could easily live past 70. And these laws have to change. And we have to stand up to elite people like Epstein, which some people are now, thank God, and others that are into this stuff. You know, the NXIVM trial's going on right now. A lot of that's being exposed. The Bronfman connection is there. The Clinton connection is there. They are facts. So once again, guys, I want to remind everybody, Bilderberg, it's in less than 72 hours. We finally found out the location. It's in Switzerland. We have the list. We did an in-depth video over at the regular page. Go check that out. If you can donate, please and thank you. We appreciate it so much. Share this video. Share everything we're doing on social media, because obviously we're being muted there in a big, big way. But most importantly, guys, get out there and be the change you want to see in the world.